Well, the title says it all. I'm a member of the Green Berets, the United States' most prestigious warriors have ever bred. This journey that I'm about to tell you all started during the virus outbreak. Now, if you've ever heard of David Paulus and Missing 411, then you get an idea of what we'll be discussing shortly. It began with a briefing from our superiors on our mission. There had been a surge in missing person cases in this particular national park before the virus had. Mine won't say what part, but just know it was somewhere with a much mountain drain. The story will be told from my viewpoint and my partner, Nicholas. Alright, everybody sit down and listen up. We have been asked for our assistance in surveying this. What's the score of the national park in the White House? To keep it simple, we are tasked with discovering and eliminating whatever it is that is taking people from this park. The base has been set up and we have been asked to back up the FBI and their squads. We were told that 2 of their squads were killed overnight and military involvement has been requested by the president. This mission is top secret and, as you know, nobody has to know about this. We have been played generously, given everything we need to complete the mission. The national park in the surrounding area has been closed off to the public, but this shouldn't be an issue due to this day. At home, orders sit in place. This goes for all national parks. You are, but it's one of many special forces tasked to eliminate this rat that has been deemed a national security concern by the White House. We have been giving radar and will have air support on standby, as well as a Blackbird in the air to keep an eye on your mission. You will be given 50 calories, armored 4x4 Humvees, maps, live communication, thermal and night vision and the best weaponry in the United States military has to offer. Luckily, we were given intel from the indigenous tribe that borders the park. Your bullets have been dipped in ash and whatever poor beans that we can experience it the full force that. That being said, you have 24 hours to get ready for your mission. Any question? Good day 1. As morning dot, I made a cup of coffee and I got my gear on it and proceeded to the meeting point on the base. We begin our trip for by 4Q base, a deep in the woods, which took the whole day. We took the forest road as dusk was approaching. Night, no right man, keep a lookout, primarily the tree line. As we drove, all was normal when suddenly we saw a pair of the otherwise beginning to follow along with our platoon. They won't attack SMS. The eyes are riding Nicole the side. That was nice. I guess we then approached the gate to HQ as we entered the range of light that the Fox lights emitted once inside the base, and we got out and proceeded inside. Now, I've been on military bases before, but this was pretty new. The base was filled with these fog lights and barbed wire face out, not to mention the tires with thermal heat, 1,750 calories, as well as multiple MPS Guardian. The inside, the security for the space, was something that I would expect in the Middle East, not in the middle of the woods and the United States. Once inside the building, we were ordered to get our gear ready for an escorted patrol into the woods to investigate a cabin that a squad of FBI agents had searched in one of the rooms, and as we approached it, the doors won't open and that creature killed by whole squad. I thought I was a god, or when it approached me. And it's smoke. Where are? Ranger reported that on an overnight hike his tent was approached by multiple faceless men and they screamed at such horrid noises that he was paralyzed with fear and had to be airlifted at the following morning. Apparently the Rangers had a rise of missing person cases around the summit, so we set up a fake cab and used the same Ranger as bait. He was scared but felt better with the fact that he had backup from. We set up snipers and the rest of my squads around at the tent from a good distance, activity night vision. Around 1 a.m. we finally saw a movement. About 5 of those faceless men approached the tent. It began to yell those noises and then we fired snipers, forest, and then the rest of the squad moved in. Those things tried to run off, but we're mad with the full force of, and then they left. Who the heck were those guys that? I said to Nicola, no idea, but it's best that we don't ask any questions. I'll say this as our mission to became more disturbing. I found it very hard to just do my job without knowing the full details, but nonetheless I'm a soldier and I have a job to do, which I intend to do. Our next mission now. This was one of the worst missions I was a part of. We drove our Humvees to investigate reports of a mutilated deer surrounding lake. It was popular during the park's normal hours when the park was open to the public. Once we arrived, the weather began to get the worst and then we noticed the red color. The lake began to give off and then the strange just hovering over the... For some reason, Roger began to become hysterical and losing his mind, and then he shot his 50 calories at the cloud, screaming, "No, you won't take me." And then, right after he shot, he was just pulled into the cloud and then the weather got so bad that we couldn't even see it. As soon as I did not know what to do, so we reported what happened to the HQ, reported back, leave the area, now for us with air support. We found Roger's body in pieces, just floating in the lake. Also, those same unnamed agents came to pick up his body parts. I couldn't take it anymore. When the agent was speaking to my commander, I walked in to demand answers. I knew that I would be in trouble, but I interrupted the meeting and, after arguing with my commandant to know what was going on, the leader of its said agency broke the arguing. "It's fine, Commander, this one here is one of your top soldiers, so we can let him know. I can only say so much, but what I can tell you is this: you are basically the first wave of forces to investigate these strange occurrences in the park, and then, when this situation is deemed into great, that's where we come in. Okay, so if we can't fight off some evil weather entity, how the heck can you guys stop it? Oh, we are aware of this. Normally you're up and said, perfect to deal with cryptids, but this is beyond those insignificant creature. Is we have weapons to not exactly destroy about all those sentient weather beings who are controlled by what we believe are extraterrestrial. The natives speak of these events in God to control the weather, and their way of halting it was a blood sacrifices. But when I say extraterrestrials, I'm not talking about a little green men, no. These are extra dimensions beings. They can come into this reality in and out as they please. Our mission is to stop this, with the military's help, of course. Together we hope to curb this. So what are these ets want? We don't know exactly yet. We have captured some, and at first they couldn't be contained until we had a group of physicists create a room that does not allow those beings to escape. These ets tell us one thing, but we believe that they aren't 100% honest. They seen us the same way, Louisiana animals in a zoo. One way that we reduce these incidents was to allow them to abduct people. Wait, so you're fine with innocent people being abducted? Why on earth would you be okay with this? My commander interrupted it. That's enough, soldier. The agent put his hand in a stop motion. As far as we know, what is the best outcome until we can figure out a way to stop them? As of now, they are uncontrollable. We will close the park until it is deemed to someone safe for the public, but don't be surprised if you hear of missing persons cases. No, I assumed I don't have to worry about you speaking of this. Right, it's not like anybody would believe me. Don't worry about me. I simply wanted to know the entirety of my mission. Well, that's something I expected. Play decorated soldiers such as yourself, not commander. Please escort your soldier out. I believe he deserves some relaxation after this hell that he's experienced. Before leaving, I managed to find a folder in a state that contained more information than what was given to me. Apparently, we found something in a cave from a mission that Nicole that was on before this reason why that missionary national park. After confronting Nicholas about this, he told me that we should talk in a more private setting and told me to leave my phone and anything trackable. We drove to a parking lot by a local bar a few miles from Maze. This base was the one we had arrived in, not the one in the forest, for clarity's sake. So this is what happened, Nicole said. I and my fellow squad were sent to investigate a cave. We got to do a firefight and 3/4 of my squad were killed. Try to capture one of these interdimensional beings. Apparently, when they are in the physical form, there is a slight window of opportunity where you can damage them. We managed to knock it out and locked it in a room that apparently the ET cannot escape. Don't ask me how it works. I'm not a physicist. What was thanks to a Russian physicist that designed the room. It basically said that the cave was one of many that connect together to the mother, case the earth cracks releasing them. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like the book of Revelations to me. It even said that the time will come in the same year that a great plague would cripple the world. Then, just as this ET predicted, our military confirmed a large heat signatures underground. The plan was to detonate a nuke. However, the problem was Yellowstone National Park. Now these beings apparently lie, and this was India lie because we missed the heat signatures. They were indeed indicating that Bagmy activity. Individual heat signatures were found in Alaska. One of us Guardian squads confirmed this one that they found the mother cave with the camera, and tomorrow we saw more of these creatures that would make a one to go look like a puppy. The military plans on sending a large force to make some noise, but even then I don't know how the us alone will fare up against these things. So now here I am writing this out. People need to realize what is going on in these parts. The government and military have no control over these events. It's best that you stay away from the forest. I was granted leave for a few weeks, and when I returned I was tasked with leading a squad. I'm currently waiting for a flight to Alaska. Apparently, the Russians experienced the same phenomenon, Siberia, and followed the cave system all the way to Alaska. The United States and Russia teaming up after finding something not supposed to even further. Until then, it's best that you stay home, for the virus isn't the only thing to keep you out of the woods.